Good morning, good morning, good morning, and good morning, good morning, good morning. All right. So again, where in the world is Anthony? So I actually woke up around 2 this morning. Not by design, right? I was hopeful to go back to sleep. And then around 5 o'clock, I kind of gave up on it a little bit, worked for an hour. And then I was like, I'll never make it through today. I really need to go to sleep. So I went back to sleep, woke up at 7. So I'm a little bit behind on my day. But the walking session of my day, the hour or two I spend walking, although maybe some don't understand this, and it's certainly not a fault on anyone. I think you either understand it or you don't, and I think understanding it comes from experiencing it. I don't think rationally it makes sense if you didn't experience it. It's like when you talk to a jogger and they're like, yeah, when I get that jogger's high, I'm like, what are you talking about? I go up the stairs and I want to like huff and puff, but that's what I get from walking. So it is actually, I don't want to ever say one thing is the most critical part of my day, but that hour or two I spend just thinking and not even thinking, but just allowing thoughts to come to me might be 90% of the good ideas Rhino's had in the last couple of months. So I'm doing that now. So I'm taking this call while walking. I'll walk for another half hour, then get to Rhino Wealth for 11, and then to the day. Hey, Frida, I'm doing well, thank you. And as you can see, I'm like behind a diner, so there's like little bugs everywhere. Well, not everywhere, but one or two. All right, Anthony, enough. Let's get to the good stuff. Firstly, yesterday, which I made at least, I think, a bit of what you can categorize as a commitment to share some updates. I think it went as well as I could have expected. That being said, that's actually all I'm going to say on it, because for the entirety of this process, I just got to kind of keep my mouth shut. Rhino bucks. I haven't purchased any today. I've done the transfers of the money. The money will be used to purchase it. I want to say around before 12, right? It's in the account. I just need to get to the computer and schedule it between Rhino Wealth and getting myself in a zone for today, but it will. I do want to make a comment on Rhino bucks. I meant to say it last time we were on, but I forgot. I feel like we're quite comfortable at 260. My original guidance was I thought we'd only be able to hold 255. I think I underestimated Rhino bucks, because we've consistently held over 264, 265. I mean, that kind of seems like we've been from 260 to 269, with the majority being between 262 and 264. I think it's time to move up to 280. I think I'm comfortable with that. We got past the coin that went out as the last promotion, and I just don't see any reason we can't. Now, of course, two things come to mind. One could be the astute observer that says, Anthony, you might just be saying this because no one's been selling. Imagine if people had been selling, you obviously wouldn't have been able to hold 260 because you're only really contributing 300, 400, 500, 600 a day. To that astute observer, I second your opinion. If the world is a real place, I can't make up observations. I can only play the hand I'm dealt. And what I can see from the hand I'm dealt is that I've overestimated our rhinos' willingness to sell. In fact, I believe that it's a consequence of our rhinos seeing what's in front of us and saying to themselves, you know what? I at least want to give Anthony I don't want to say respect, because it's not the right word, but I want to give him the opportunity that if he could pull this off, I'll be very happy I didn't sell. But if he can't pull it off, I still don't think he's someone that's going to let me get hurt. So although I do agree with that sentiment, I also agree, or I also counter, that I think the depressed selling is something that's becoming more of a new normal than an aberration. Secondly, because I said two things, Rhino Friend is going to be quite the income generator. And again, when I say income, I mean revenue, because none of it goes to me. I don't have a paycheck. In fact, when I was in court, they're like, how do you get paid? What's your paycheck? I go, I don't have one. They go, how do you pay your bills? I go, I have overhead. I go, I clear overhead. They go, so what's your bank account? I'm like, probably negative. and people, normal people don't understand that. I don't care about money at all. I care that I'm comfortable. I care that I can provide for my family, and I care that I get to live my dream every day. And the ultimate dream is, at the end of the day, at the outcome, the money will just be there. I don't know if that doesn't make sense. I suspect it makes sense to this audience, right? So I'm not talking to you per se. But I've always believed if you work hard and you achieve your dreams, the money is the least of your concern. It will just be there. So that's what I believe, and I find that to be true, right? There's so much money in the world and so few good ideas that when there's a good idea, the money finds it. And take Rhino for instance, right? We're not bazillionaires, but we're funded, right? Like we have investors. There are people that said that's a good idea. Here's money. And obviously, it's not that A to B, but overall. So Rhino friend, I wanted to have a 7:30 tonight. I don't think that's going to happen. Not because I don't think I could push it out, but I think Friday just is more appropriate. I think Friday allows me the entire week. So let me share what that looks like. So I have been working diligently on it, but more or less the wireframe. So what messaging are we going to do on Twitter? What schedule is that messaging going to be? What does that content calendar look like for this month, next month, next month? What are the calls to action? Now, what does that mean to YouTube? When something's posted on YouTube, where is it reposted? What form is it reposted? What's that mean to Instagram? What's that mean to email marketing? What does that mean to our daily calls? What is the theme that changes? Can we somehow squeeze it into Rhino Wealth? And what is the flywheel that allows everything to continue? What's the automations that allow most of it to be automatic? What allows us to constantly get new organic reach that is able to take action without us having to, I guess, take action? Like it's all already done, all the automations, all the sequencing, all the rest of it. I have that wireframe mostly done. Upon completing the wireframe, then it's building the process out, which again, I don't want to say I think, because I'm committing right now 100% Friday evening, this will be launched. Because I think if you held a gun to my head, I could do it in a really 1.0 fashion today. Meaning, I think I could do it in a Rhino fashion, my friend. That's that. So Friday, that's what this will be. But also, you got to understand the importance to Rhino. We haven't done anything to produce new revenue. I don't ever sit there and say, oh, well, things are going good. Let's not think about any adverse scenarios. That's what keeps me up at night. So I need to get it done, not only to uphold my promise, but to make sure that the financial footing is in place. And you also got to remember, once it's out, it's out. Once what I'm describing is done, it's done. Then it just goes. So that's really, really cool. I did say that, well, actually, so when it comes to what that marketing effort is going to look like, so rhinofriend.com is kind of a beta version. I want to upgrade that. I want to have a better video that shares more in depth of how it's actually going to work. So I want the individual to see, oh, if I text this is my Twilio that's integrated, then it goes to this picture, the picture starts talking to me. I'm able to go ahead and spend all day with this, because rhinofriend.com it really is kind of like a beta version if the businesses was only Rhino, because it only suggests you get into Rhino. So it does have a wow. It is 90% done. I can go ahead and improve that code. My team could go ahead and improve the facilitation, and we could put a couple of calls to action on that page, and boom, that's one of our assets. So like I said, it's already pretty much done. We do want to have other assets as well. But with Rhino Friend, I think I need to have people, I do want to have a lot of this is how it's done type of stuff. I do want to have a lot of that wow factor. I do want to have a lot of why should you get in? What happens when you get in? What can you expect? I do want to go ahead and share that the second iteration will have Stripe integrated. Not integrated, but I want to get the Stripe Bank. I think I'm really going to go forward with becoming a depository institution under their umbrella. Because if I could go ahead, I keep saying go ahead. I edit so many of my videos, and the go ahead portion is that part I always edit out because I say way too much. To that point, I do want the individual that upon signing up to Rhino, have a Rhino bank account with a Rhino debit card. I do want that individual to then understand that as their bot makes sales and welcomes people in, there is an actual cash reward that will be deposited into their Rhino account that's immediately accessible by their Rhino debit card. I think if I can show that, as well as share what Rhino Friend is and how that becomes likely, how that becomes an everyday thing, how that becomes a recurring income passively, as well as show the value proposition of, oh, great, and I have it, I'm talking to it, it remembers me, it loves me, yada, yada, yada. I think that's all I really need. I think that would be a wonderful foundation to then build on. Because of course, every marketing strategy after that or upgrade would build on that. But if that could be our first, oh my God, that's, I don't care who you are. I feel that I'm able to persuade you in not the way that I'm selling you something, but in a way that I'm educating you to why you should be in. And that's very different. Selling someone something and educating them why they should be in it is night and day. So I don't mean that to come off as Anthony's going to be a great salesman. No, Anthony being a great salesman is the production side. I built it because I believe it. Now I got to share it, right? And if I'm building it and putting my entire career, my livelihood, my children, my family, and everyone in here that I love, then I didn't just, flip a coin. So that's the commentary on Rhino Friends. I'm having my team call tomorrow. So I'll be that much closer to Friday. What am I missing? Rhino Wealth. Rhino Wealth. So Rhino Wealth, for the life of me, I find that at least this last year of my life, the harder I work, the more gotcha moments our good Lord likes to give me. And I'm not going to comment on all of them, but the most recent one being Rhino Wealth yesterday. So we finally got an opportunity. There was this wonderful 20 red and green. And for those that don't know what that means, just stick with me. That's our golden opportunity. And we missed it on Friday because we didn't see it. So we prayed Monday, please. Monday was a 21 red and green, which if you understand that 20 is a count, well, 21 is a higher count. Therefore, it's a more of an opportunity. I get in, I'm unable to watch it. So I put a limit order in and I get filled. So I buy the stock at the price I want to buy it at. Now I'm in court all day. And at the end of the day, I take a look at the stock market because I don't want to look at the price of the option. I'm like a kid looking at his SATs. So instead I look at the stock market to get a representation. So the stock market started off quite low and then it went up all day and it was up like 400 points. And I was like, okay, wait a second. I bought this at 9:32 a.m. when the market opened at 9:30. The market opened on the lows and went up all day. Therefore, in my head, outside of any crazy situation, my stock likely was bought at the lows and went up all day. Great, I have a really good win. So I looked at it like, yes, I know what this present is. My mother finally got me the Batman I was looking for. You open the box and it's like a piece of coal. The stock went down all day, went down like $6, $7. At the end of the day, my position was down 40%. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. Now, that being said, the entire algorithm that we base it off of is completely devoid of emotion. It's purely my calculations over my experience, blah, blah, blah. Meaning when it opened up today to 21, at a 23, at a 23. Well, if I loved it at a 20 and I really loved it at a 21, again, we're not talking about price here. I'm talking about the count. Then what do I feel at a 23? Well, I must really love it. So by you telling me that the price is lower, you have to ask yourself a question. Well, if you did not buy it at a 21, would you buy it at a 23 with a lower price? Of course. Why would I, if I want to buy a Ferrari and it's 100,000 and I walk past it another day and they have it on discount for 70,000, do I run away from it? Do I say, you know what, I liked it at 100, but 70, you're giving me too much opportunity? No. So I believe it today to be better than it was yesterday. That being said, I didn't buy more because I don't buy more. I buy one and that's that. Because you don't know what you don't know. Who knows? Maybe the company goes bankrupt, right? And I was the fool that just kept buying it. But then today we had another opportunity that I got into. So for those that are in Rhino Wealth, conceivably, you've had the opportunity to get into two really great is a very relative word in this. Two great opportunities, assuming the first one works out, right? So Rhino Wealth is going fine. We have our work and we're in the battle. Like we're in it. We're not on the sidelines. We're in it, and I love that. Put me in a battle. That's where I'm comfortable. It's like when Trump was running in 2016, and everyone said, you know, this guy just loves being in the mud. If you talk badly at him, that's where he excels because he could argue and he can put you in his place because that's where he excels. I'm not saying that's where I excel. I'm saying in the battle is the equivalent. If you put me in the battle, that's where I excel. Such Rhino Wealth. I think that's it. So the next couple of days, I'm spending all day doing Rhino Friend. I think that's it. So I gotta really learn to stop saying but unfortunately it's totally involved. Almost did it. Love everyone. I will have this up by the end of the day. I don't think I'll have time to edit it anytime soon. And love, love, love. Talk to you later. Bye.